Libra, there's no doubt that your recent readings have been tumultuous, action-packed, and this spread feels no less so. To have both death and the devil in the same spread is a cause for concern. One that I will get to the bottom of for you. However, I notice that central card is all about you gaining command of the unknown. Is it the paranormal? Is it psychology? That cannot be spoken. Who knows? You were, despite everything in the past, scoring some victories and gaining public recognition for it. Now love seems important. Is it a new lover, an existing lover, or is it simply some person that you're very close to? Certainly you cannot hide anything from them. In the future, fear dominates you, fear of the unknown. Maybe that explains so much. The energy that needs to the outcome is the energy of death. Probably sudden, with an abrupt and unpleasant ending. There's always hope. But that death leads to the devil. So is losing things in this way leading you to addictions, leading you to compulsive behaviour, leading you to behaviour that perhaps is unbecoming? It's possible. Or does it open the gates for people who are like that to exploit you? Certainly that then leads to this fear. Now if only you could go inside yourself and understand your deeper feelings, some of this could be avoided. In fact, most of this could be avoided. Terribly interesting, Libra. Let's get into it. Now what this reading is all about, Libra, is the unknown. Maybe we're talking of the unspeakable, not in terms of its horror, but in terms that we don't have the words to articulate what it's about. You might describe it as the paranormal. And indeed, I think some definitely would. You might see it as psychology, and I am increasingly seeing the paranormal and psychology as being inextricably linked, in a Jungian sense, if you like. Certainly it's tapping into these what some people consider darker elements of life. It may simply be just the right brain as opposed to the left. But it's those things that defy logic. And that is at the forefront during your September. Despite the tumultuous past, there are indications that you were progressing in the right direction and gaining public recognition for it. Do you know, I think when you look back on September, you will recognise that you did learn a lot, even though September will feel like a very difficult month for you. So I think we can learn something from this past. That these small gains may be imperceptible to you, but not to others. And despite how dark the top half of this reading is, this bottom half has many encouraging cards, or energies, including your current energy, which is that of the lovers. Is this a love, or is it simply a friendship? Whatever it is, it's one in which you have nothing to hide, everything is exposed. You look at the rendering of Adam and Eve, and they're naked. They have nothing to hide from each other. They have a complete understanding of what each other is thinking. It's a lovely energy, this. Lovely. In the future, you're fearful. What are you fearful of? Well, you're fearful of the unknown. And I suppose the one description I didn't use about this reading that I should have was the unknown. Maybe even the unknowable. And yeah, you look at the rendering. Is it a lobster? Whatever it is, it's got to get past those two creatures. Look a bit like dogs, I'm not sure what they are, but it's got to get past those. Once it does, there's those gates to go through. And I think once it overcomes its fear, there's that wonderful mountain there. So it is a case of overcoming your fear, I think. I don't think there's anything really to be fearful of, but you have to push through this, Libra. Well, I've just said, what have you got to be fearful of? And here we have the death card. But the fear is in the future. And this is in the month of, this death is in the month of September. It leads to the outcome. It's probably a sudden and abrupt ending to something. Could it be this love or lovers energy? An ending to a love or an ending to a close friendship? There must have been more to it than that, I think. But nevertheless, that could explain it. It comes about abruptly, it comes about unexpectedly, it's unwelcome. It leads to a very negative outcome as well. Yes, yeah, I'm beginning to see it. Now, I believe so much of this could have been avoided if only you'd been able to go inside yourself and explore probably your fears, but explore your deepest thoughts, your deepest emotions. If it is the ending of a love, maybe had you explored yourself, you'd have realised that these feelings you have about the ending are the wrong feelings to have. Maybe this person was a narcissist. Maybe you're going to discover that. Or maybe there's something else completely different about it. But whatever it was, I think you can find the answers, and therefore the answers to the obvious pain you're going to feel within inside yourself. So this abrupt ending, is it love? Is it friendship? Is it something else? But it's a bitter ending. And it leads to the devil energy. Is it an ending of an attachment you've got to a devilish energy? Or as a result of the ending, do you become obsessed with this attachment? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what it's telling us here, but in the future we have fear of the unknown. So it was something that you at least had felt comfortable with, and now it's gone. And you're missing it. You were attached to it. You look at that, you look at this rendering, you know, they're tied to that rock that the devil's on. They're wearing those collars, but it looks like they could slip them off. So it's in your mind. I mean, it is a very psychological reading, this one. I think we need clarity on this. And I suppose, you know, I could seek clarity on the devil. But given that the death card leads to the devil, I think I need to find out what is it an ending to, first of all. And we have, so as always, I pulled 3 cards. The first is the 3 of Pentacles. This is normally associated with teamwork, but this particular rendering, there's only one person. So it's about doing something, it's about a goal. I mean, it could be teamwork, but it's about doing something. So this is an end to what you were doing. The next card is the King of Cups, the King of Love. So it is an ending to love. So I think that Lover's card was about love. Maybe they were working with you. Hence this 3 of Pentacles. Finally, the Hierophant. A belief system, probably a conservative belief system, maybe even religion. So it's the end of your beliefs. Let's look at each individually. So the first card of clarity is the 3 of Pentacles, which I'd normally say is about teamwork. Working together in synergy to create something greater than the individual sums of your efforts. But there's only one person on this rendering. Now, I do think it is an end to something you were doing with others. But I do also believe that it's saying to me, this was something, a project, maybe a job, maybe a business, but it has come to an end. Come to an end, I think, as a result of that relationship of the lovers. So it must hurt. It must really hurt you. Next energy, the Knight of Cups, I think really does tell us that this Lover's card was about love, was about a lover. It's come to an end because that's what this is clarifying. So a lover's come to an end. Why has it come to an end? Well, the Knight of Cups, I mean, look at him. He's a fool for love. Absolute fool for love. So full of love that he is often abused by others, particularly those who he thinks he's in love with. And I think it's as simple as that. You just fell head over heels for someone who was no good for you. Not necessarily saying they were a bad person. But if we think about this devil card, you're still in love with them. They still have a hold on you, and that's where the problem lies. And that's where the fear comes from, the fear of the future without them. And this ending has not only taken away your love that you're still pining for, taken away maybe your job, maybe your business, it's also taken away your very belief system. Quite a conservative belief system. Maybe it's a religion that it's taken away. And maybe you're shouting, come on, Java, how can an ending do all of that? Well, you know, if you think of the health crisis, I mean, it had a massively negative effect on me. But in particular, I realised that everything I believed in, everything I devoted my life to, was false. I no longer have faith in anybody, or certainly nobody in authority. You know, I didn't have much faith in doctors before the health crisis, but having seen them throw away their Hippocratic oath so callously, I have no confidence in them whatsoever. And it's that sort of a thing that has happened to you, a real crisis of beliefs. So let's summarise for you, Libra. Libra, there is a darkness about this September's reading. A darkness that I feel you have to explore. A darkness that I believe you will ultimately overcome. In the past, you were certainly overcoming problems and probably even getting public recognition for doing so. Maybe as a result of that, you attract what I now believe to be a lover. It could have been somebody close to you, a friend, or it could have been anything, but I believe them to be a lover. I believe that you let them into either your business or your job in some kind of way, and ultimately that breaks down. I don't want to go any further than they were wrong for you. I mean, they might be a narcissist, they could be all sorts of things, but we don't have enough information to say that about them. But it ends and it breaks down and it shatters you, it really does. You still hold a candle for them. You're saying, why did this happen? It's still playing on your mind. And it's absolutely changed everything for you, because you've lost your job or business or whatever it was you were doing. You've lost your lover, but you've also lost your faith. I actually think it's religious faith that you've lost. You've lost all of that. And you still hold this candle for them, and in the future you're full of fear about facing the world without them, full of fear of the unknown. But you need to overcome and explore this fear. In fact, if only you were to go inside yourself and understand the nature of this fear, things could be much, much easier for you, Libra.